Saturday morning, just got back from a run. It was a good talk. Paul Feyerabend, 1975. Outline, or it says, Against Method, Outline of an Anarchistic Theory of Knowledge. The source on this is Analytical Index, being a sketch of the main argument, and the concluding chapter from Against Method. Publication Humanities Press, just the analytical table of contents and concluding chapter produced here. I'll go ahead and read a few things. This stands out really well with lessons I've been learning. I'll just go ahead and go over some of these bullet points with you. Science is an essentially anarchistic enterprise. Theoretical anarchism is more humanitarian and more likely to encourage progress than its law and order alternatives. Basically, science works better when it's a free-for-all. Having people in large organizational structures where there's rank hinders progress. And unfortunately, that's how it is because people can get a lot of money that way. This is shown by both an examination of historical episodes and by an abstract analysis of the relation between idea and action. The only principle that does not inhibit progress is anything goes. On that point, Vixra, I think that's how you pronounce it, was developed by Phil Gibbs. And he was of the idea that as long as there's something to do with science or technology or mathematics, you could publish it on his online archive. Being that the archive, ARXIV, that was run by Cornell was being, stingy with their publication and was blacklisting scientists from publishing articles onto an archive. There wasn't even the review process. Vixra has it to where even if it, appears wrong, even if it is wrong, so to speak, you should be able to publish it as long as it's, related to science or mathematics. And that is a very important part to understand about science, is that it evolves. Sure, it may seem wrong, or it may be wrong, but that doesn't, there's no proof at all of that. I mean, sure, you have the Earth going around the sun, but there are ways to hone the Earth going around the sun. It's an ellipse, There are very other different ways of looking at things. You just can't look at them as black or white, because there might be an idea in there that somebody can work off of, even though it appears completely wrong in almost every other regard. Say, for instance, the entire paper is 99% bullshit, but that 1% in there might be gold, might be a diamond in there somewhere if you can find it. I would like to look at Vixra papers as being somewhat of a large ore field where diamonds are a kimberlite pipe, where you have to mine like so many tons of ore, like 200 to 500 tons of ore just to get a few carats of diamonds. I look at it like that. Another bullet point is, for example, we may use hypotheses that contradict well-confirmed theories and or well-established experimental results. We may advance science by proceeding counter-inductively. That's what I do a lot of. If I see something that I have issues with, it's really powerful to go the opposite, to be, to be counter to what everybody accepts. Because when you really think about it, how many times has science has been wrong throughout history? A whole hell of a lot, right? Sometimes we just make huge mistakes and don't realize it, and everybody believes the same mistakes. So it's sometimes really helpful to look at it counter-inductively, to look at a different way, look at it in a different light, in a way that appears wrong to you. Another bullet point: the consistency condition, which demands that new hypotheses agree with accepted theories, is unreasonable because it preserves the older theory and not the better theory. That's what I'm going through as well. The hypothesis of Earth being a part of star evolution will never, ever agree with accepted theory. The accepted theory is the older theory. Of course, it's not going to agree with it. It's out of date. The theory I'm developing is clearly better, but scientists think that my hypothesis has to agree with the older theory, which doesn't make any sense and is completely unreasonable, because clearly I'm replacing it. I like this too. There is no idea, however ancient and absurd, that is not capable of improving our knowledge. Even if the idea itself is ancient or absurd, there might be a way of working off of that and developing that in a different light. Maybe it might give somebody an idea, or they saw something in a different way. You never really know. The whole history of thought is absorbed into science and is used for improving every single theory. Nor is political interference rejected. It may be needed to overcome the chauvinism of science that resists alternatives to the status quo. Science is very much like that. It's status quo. This is what you all should believe. This is all correct. We're only going to accept ideas that go along this paradigm. If you don't agree with them, then we'll reject all your papers, prevent you from getting grants, funds, money, whatever, prevent you from developing a career that can actually bring new understanding to us, because we are so hell-bent on preserving the older, outdated theory. No theory ever agrees with all the facts in its domain. This is true. Science is partial. Many theories are partial. Yet it is not always the theory that is to blame. Facts are constituted by older ideologies, and a clash between facts and theories may be proof of progress. That's what's happening to me. My theory disagrees with a whole shitload of facts that scientists have accepted to be reasonable. I guess that's a sign of progress. I'm not too sure. It's too early to tell. I mean, from my perspective, it's been over 4 years that I've been working on this, and I have a few followers. I have a lot of people that are starting to understand what the Earth is, but all in all, it still clashes big time. It is also the first step in our attempts to find the principles implicit in familiar observational notions. Now he goes off on a tangent with Galileo and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, I don't bother with that guy. Who cares about Galileo? Says here, such irrational methods of support are needed because of the uneven development, which is quoted here, Marx, Lenin, of different parts of science. Now, that's something very, very peculiar to me. I could make a whole talk on that. Uneven development of science. Now, uneven, like, sure, we have biology and microbiology, and it's really advanced, and we have, you know, DNA sequencing, and it's really, really, really high-tech stuff. But then, over here in the geology department, they still believe Earth is the remains of some protoplanetary disk, some theory that was invented in the 1800s. Like, that's way uneven. You have something that's 300 years old that doesn't make any fucking sense at all, and you have understanding of nature to the point to where we can fucking sequence DNA? Holy shit. Like, but what happens is that people think that because we are living in 2016, that means that old 1700, 1800 theory must have been correct on the same level as our biology and microbiology studies are correct. But that's not true at all. What's happening is our sciences in this area, the geology and geophysics departments, they're fucking falling behind, man. We gotta step them up to the plate. We gotta bring them a theory that actually makes sense. It's in 2016 to match the microbiology and biology departments. As well, you have that uneven development. See, what else is uneven? Well, shit. Fucking computer science. That's incredible. Like, I don't know how my iPhone works. I have no idea. If someone laid all the parts down in front of me, there's no freaking way I'd be able to explain to you how an entire iPhone works. I don't think anybody really does, to be honest. Maybe there are some really smart people out there that don't understand the intricacies of an iPhone in very detailed, but those people are very rare. I mean, computer science is on a level of microbiology, and then you have people making YouTube videos that are like prank videos and things like that, and they're using it for something that's like so, I don't know, childish, I guess, but they don't realize that they could spread understanding like this. But they don't. A lot of them don't do it. I'm like, dang. So you have this incredible technology at our disposal, yet people are using it for shit. that's an uneven development right there. Like, but that's on a social aspect as well. But anyways, there it is. I'll go ahead and link this to the bottom. If you could probably look it up yourself. It's Google it, I guess. But lots of good ideas in here. I don't agree with everything he says, but there's a lot of new stuff in here that I have never seen before. Oh yeah, today's February 13th, 2016. Everybody have a good day.